the Auburn Blitz Podcast, your direct source for all Auburn all the time with Brett Pritchard, Faith Richardson, and Randy Lee.
What's up, everybody? Welcome into the Auburn Blitz Podcast here on this Tuesday morning. We're glad that you've joined us wherever and whenever it is that you join us each and every day and making Auburn Blitz part of your daily Auburn athletic intake. Brett and Faith here with you on a recorded version on a Tuesday morning, so you can still comment away. We love for that because we get those comments throughout the day, Faith. I know you get them just like I do when people comment on our podcast, even if it's recorded. We get to see that, and you know, some people get to watch it a little bit later on in the day, so keep those comments rolling in, right?
Yeah, absolutely. We love looking at them and, responding and replying whenever we can.
Absolutely. Well, we start our program each and every day with our partners, and we appreciate them so much. We couldn't do it without them.
Sensagreen, for air that's cool and clean, call in Sensagreen. They are the carrier experts in the state of Alabama. Proud supporter of Auburn Athletics and a proud supporter of the Auburn Blitz Podcast.
Sorry, I'm a little bit behind right here. Scout Program Management, a full-service construction management firm in Birmingham, Alabama. I actually had a meeting with them yesterday, Faith. Just Sloan and Charles came down, and I can personally attest to their attention to detail and how well they handle things, man. They solved a massive problem yesterday because they are on top of things. So, again, if you're spending millions of dollars on a huge construction project or a renovation project, they're the ones to call. They're the ones that you want in charge of your project. So call on Scout Program Management. I'm giving everybody a personal testimony right here. I watched them work yesterday and save a municipality and save our school system hundreds of thousands of dollars on a very small error. So, again, probably wouldn't have picked up on that if you didn't have Scout Program Management. So call on them today. Don't take my word for it, but I saw it in person yesterday.
Bunkers in downtown Auburn. They've got 27 different sports on the golf simulator bays. We love Bunkers. We were just there last Friday. They've got great deals for the rest of this summer. And then they also have their regular happy hour deals that you cannot beat anywhere. And also 50 parking spaces downtown is crazy. You can't find that anywhere either. And honestly, just the atmosphere there is so great. They've got great food and great drink deals all the time.
All the time. Make sure you go there. Don't take a word for it. Just do it. All right. Hey, just do it. Nike. Auburn's a Nike school now. So how about that? Just do it. Okay. Elite QB play. I know this is not groundbreaking news, but going into fall camp, which everybody reports today, they'll start practice tomorrow. You and I'll be at the complex. We'll see that. Hear from Coach Freeze, all that blah, blah, blah stuff. But here's the deal. We talk about all these position groups and whatever, but nothing is more important than a quarterback. And when I go back and I look over time with Auburn, it's very rare here in the last 20 years that Auburn's had the same quarterback come back for another year. I know we've just had 2 years of Peyton Thorne, and that was kind of shaky, but most of the time it's somebody new, and we kind of play, like you say, ring around the rosy with our quarterback situation. But, I wanted to just dive in detail, and we're not going to be on long today because we do have a busy day. It's why we recorded last night, and we got media days for high school coming up today. But I wanted to dive a little bit into Jackson Arnold. I know we talked about him coming out of spring and how much weight's on his shoulders. I hate to say it that way. And he said it at media day, and you can go check out our clip that we had for media days. I know a lot of people have watched that and kind of hear him talk about, he understands the pressure. He understands. I mean, he was a highly ranked recruit coming out of high school. It's as high as you can get. I mean, he was a 99 on the composite for 24/7, Faith. I mean, you don't get higher than that with the 5 stars. He was the number 1 player in Texas, number 4 quarterback in the country, coming out the number 10 player overall. And I look back at his stats, man, his percentage, completion percentage, the things that were there showed up for him in 23 and 24. And you look at 12 touchdowns to 4 picks, good ratio there last year for Jackson Arnold in limited play. I mean, it's all laid out in front of him, but Auburn has to have elite quarterback play. There's no other way to spin it. I mean, again, you don't want to make mistakes. You want a game manager, but if Auburn can get elite quarterback play, I don't know what's going on.
I'm sorry. She keeps fucking around with her carrot and she's
squeaking. I can't hear that. I was like, are you looking over to the right for some? So it's all the recorded ones are always like this, by the way. You know it. But going back to Jackson Arnold, got to have him perform. And again, and I know that sounds like a broken record, but I don't know that Auburn, and we've said this already too. Auburn's never had a quarterback this highly touted come in. I mean, even Bo Nix or whoever you want to look at, nobody's had the accolades coming out of high school that Jackson Arnold has coming in to Auburn. And, you know, clean start for him, new school. Man, how refreshing would it be for him to just live up to billing and just show out this year for Auburn?
Yeah, I mean, let's hope that he also has the offensive line that, you know, is going to help him out too, because last year, he was the most sacked quarterback in the SEC. And I mean,
right,
that plays a huge part in all of looking at his stats. I mean, you have to take into account that was, you know, a big thing last year for him. And we keep talking about how powerful our offensive line and how experienced our offensive line is. And I mean, you got the both of them together. He's played in this conference for a year and had previous experience the year before. And like you said, I mean, we haven't had somebody with the talent or the experience come in that he's had. And yeah, I mean, a lot of weight on his shoulders, but I also think with the offensive groups that Auburn has and how powerful they are, I mean, it's going to hopefully play out in the elite play that we keep talking about.
You know, I just want to look back and remind everybody that this was not on Jackson Arnold the reason Oklahoma struggled last year. I mean, he started off the season. I mean, his numbers, and I actually gave him one more interception than he had. He only threw 3 interceptions, so 12 touchdowns to 3 interceptions through the air, ran for 400 and something yards, 2 on the ground. You know, he's a very, very good dual threat quarterback. But when you look at it and you look at Oklahoma's results, when they started off 3-0, now I know it was Temple, Houston, and Tulane. Then they had that game, and I remember that game. It was an odd game against Tennessee. Tennessee ends up winning that game 25-15. But that Oklahoma decided to bench. And I remember that. I mean, they took him out in that game, and they were struggling offensively. And then they start the freshman kid against us the next week on September 28th. And that kid really didn't do much. Auburn really kind of shot themselves in the foot. He wins that game, but then Jackson Arnold really doesn't get back in the fray until a few weeks on down. I think he comes back and plays against South Carolina, and they lose that game 35-9. And it was kind of a ring around the rosy, like you said, back and forth. But, you know, they had an inconsistent season. They lose to Missouri by 7, and then they come back in one of the oddest games of the year and destroy Alabama 24-3, but it wasn't through the air. It wasn't because Jackson Arnold did anything special through the air. He was only 9 of 11 for 68 yards, but ran the ball unbelievably and were able to, and then Oklahoma's defense was able to just shut Alabama down. But, you know, you look back, the injuries, the offensive line, everything kind of culminated to what Oklahoma's season was. And here's the biggest part, Faith. He lost his coach. In 23, he came to Oklahoma. Jeff Lebby recruited him to Oklahoma. He was the OC and the quarterback coach. He takes the job last year at Mississippi State. He probably wished he was still back at Oklahoma after those results. But then you come back, and, again, sometimes mentally for a player it's hard to overcome that the guy that they had confided in is not there anymore, and then you get a new OC, and then they change the system. And I think Jackson Arnold kind of had his mind made up that he wanted to move on and try somewhere else.
I mean, you think about a lot of these guys that even I've been talking to, just doing my on the front row with Faith, and the recruiting journeys of a lot of these guys inside the top 10. You hear the relationships that they build, and
Right.
then some of these coaches leave and go somewhere else, and they either can't recruit them to their new school or they try to, and it just really throws a big knot in all the relationship ties that they have going on. And I think you're right by coach leaving, that he said, all right, I need to find somewhere else where I'm going to fit in. And they have a vision for me. Cause last year, it didn't seem as much of it working in his favor. And Hugh Freeze, it looks like he has a vision of how Jackson Arnold is going to fit into this offense.
And it's even more amazing to me, completed almost 63% of his passes last year. I mean, he threw the ball 246 times, and 1,421 yards, 12 TDs to 3 picks. I mean, these are not bad numbers. I mean, anytime you're in the mid 60s almost in completion percentage, you're doing your part, and it's just easy to blame the quarterback when things go wrong. And I know we talked about it last year with Peyton Thorne, and as bad as Peyton Thorne played in some games, it was not all on him. It was coaching too. I think Brent Venables needs to, and the Oklahoma fans understand that Brent Venables needed to own some of the things that went on with Oklahoma last year, just like Hugh Freeze needed to own a lot of things that went on with Auburn losing some of those games. So it goes hand in hand, but it's always easy to point a finger at the quarterback when things are not going right. All right, so why will Jackson Arnold be successful this year? We will talk about that here in just a second, but a couple more of our partners first.
Sure Shot, they're right up Highway 280. They've got all your firearm apparel and hunting needs. They sell and trade new and used firearms. Literally anything that you can even have a question about when it comes to any of the things I just listed. The guys at Sure Shot are going to be able to help you out. It's always target season. So if you don't have much going on, but you need to practice your shot, which everybody should, they're going to be able to sell you whatever you need when it comes to your target shooting, clays, anything. It's almost dove season, like Brett always reminds us all. So calling them at 256-329-0080.
Always looking for an excuse to go shoot. I mean, always.
Yeah. Oliver Ross, if you've got a party of 20 or you got a party all the way up to 20,000 people, Oliver Ross is going to be able to get you covered. They are going to be your certified and licensed bartenders. And if you have any tailgates or anything this fall, sorority parties, fraternity parties, weddings, anything like that, Oliver Ross is going to be able to be your bartenders. They're going to be able to set up, clean everything up, and they'll be out of there. But you don't have to worry about the bartending. You can just worry about entertainment and all the goods.
Can't say it any better myself. All right. Why will Jackson Arnold be successful? It's very simple. Offensive line play and an unbelievable wide receiver room, maybe the best that you and I've seen top to bottom in either of our lifetimes. And this is just, I mean, it goes way beyond 5, 6, 7, 8 guys. I don't remember an offensive line that has this much depth in probably almost 10 years. So when you add those two together and Jackson Arnold with the intangibles he brings and the things that he did coming out of high school and what he was able to do at Oklahoma, again, his numbers were not bad at Oklahoma. It just did not work out. And it's not all on him. Now, he did some things, but, he also went through an offensive basically change from an O coordinator to another O coordinator to just a different philosophy. So why will he be successful? That's why he's going to be successful, Faith. He's going to be successful because he has the things around him to make him successful. He did not have those last year at Oklahoma.
Yeah, like I said, it just seems like there's a plan here at Auburn for him to be successful, especially with the factors that are, all involved when it comes to making up this offense. And that's the most important part of having a successful team is making sure that everybody's on the same page, everybody's well meshed together. And, the coaches also have to be on the same page as these guys.
And also add in the factor that he knows what everybody's out here saying about him. If you're a competitor and coming out of high school and then being recruited by almost everybody and getting all the offers and then choosing a historic program like Oklahoma to go play quarterback where they've won multiple Heisman trophies there, very similar to Auburn. You understand what you're walking into and the expectation. When it doesn't work out, then you have to take a step back and reflect. He's on a mission. He's on a mission to prove that not only can I win, but I can win in this league and I can win at the rate everybody thought I could win at. And I can lead this Auburn football team back to where Auburn fans and Auburn people expect this program to compete year in and year out. I just think there's a lot of factors there in the positive direction for Jackson Arnold to be successful.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think just the negativity around the quarterback situation for the past, I don't even know how many years.
A lot.
There has to be some sort of change. And I think we're at the right step of having that change when it comes to our offensive line and the wide receiver rooms that you see, and then bringing in a quarterback who's experienced in this league and who's got 2 years under his belt, and a coach that, wants these guys to work it out.
All right. So out of that receiver room, I mean, it's obvious that Cam Coleman is a guy that we're all going to be watching. Who else? Who is the next guy up? Is it going to be Eric Singleton for you, Faith? Will it be Malcolm Simmons if he gets cleared from the stuff that's going on? We'll know that probably tomorrow, which direction that's going. Who is it that's going to be the elite? I mean, they're all great receivers. I mean, we all know that. Who's going to be the guys that really step up and live up to billing this year for you?
No, I think because I have never seen Eric Singleton play with such an elite group of wide receivers and also just in this conference. I'm looking forward to watching him and seeing his skills.
Right.
But I think the public wants to, if Malcolm Simmons gets through all of this, I think the public is going to want to tear him down almost and want to see him fail. And so I think that's where the public eye is going to be.
Yeah, I mean, that's the world we live in. And like I said, and we're not speculating, but if things are to work out for him, you can just imagine going on the road and the signs and the stuff. I mean, he's going to have to block that out. And knowing Malcolm, he will. I mean, he'll be able to shield himself from that stuff and go out and do what he loves to do and play the game of football. So a lot to choose from there. One final thing that we'll talk about, let's get to a couple more of our partners before we do, on this offensive side of the ball. Again, we're talking about that because let's just be honest. All eyes are going to be on how Jackson Arnold is carrying himself and handling this offense through fall camp. Let's just cut right down to the brass tacks of it. But there's one more element. But before we do that, Old Number One Customs.
Old Number One Customs, if you've got an outdoor living area, if you've got master bathroom or kitchen, anything like that, you want them to come in there and fully gut and be able to make beautiful again in just 2 weeks. I don't know anybody that could do that in just 2 weeks. I think it would take me 2 years to do all that. Actually, I think I'd give up and probably have a kitchen that doesn't work. But Old Number One Customs is going to be the people that you're going to want to call. Brett, you're actually working with them right now. And they're fixing to come into your house to get started on the actual process here pretty soon. They are.
Yep. Meeting with them one more time on Friday to get the ball rolling. So here we are. So looking forward to that. Call them 334-752-6162.
JFA Blue Plumbing, if you want to have filtered water throughout your entire house, JFA Blue will come in there and install Home Atlas Water Filter Duo, which is going to make sure you've got filtered water throughout every single faucet in your house. So important when it comes to your health, your animals' health, your family's health, also just the life of your bathtubs and your sinks and everything. If you don't want to see that little pink ring around, or even when that mold and stuff starts growing.
You talk about that every time. It's just nasty.
It's so, because I've had to deal with that at these apartments that I've lived in college, and it's so disgusting. It's so hard to clean. It makes it look so gross in your bathrooms. I'm so disgusted. So I know when I get a house, I'm going to have JFA Blue come in there and install Home Atlas Water Filter Duo for just $15.99, because I can guarantee the way that I clean my showers and every thing that water comes out of, it will save me money and save me back pain.
It'll save you time. That's what it's going to
Yes, it's so gross. So 844 JFA Blue.
I mean,
and I'm literally not even kidding too.
How can I follow that?
The most disgusting things I've heard.
I get disgusted with listening to you talk about it. It's nasty. So yeah, fix it. JFA Blue Plumbing will help you do that. All right. The last part, the running game. No Jarquez Hunter, but no problem. 3 very good, 4, really 5 guys back there in the backfield. I mean, I know 2 are freshmen, but 3 guys, not a lot of playing time. Darrell Robinson transfers with playing time from Connecticut. But look, Hugh Freeze, I've asked him personally twice now, and he is fine with our running back room. Just haven't had a chance to get those guys out there in this capacity because they've had a phenomenal guy in front of them in Jarquez Hunter. So it's their turn, and the running game is equally as crucial to a quarterback having success throwing the football and the offense running the way it needs to. So I think by committee, this running back room will get it done. But again, we'll know starting tomorrow, fall camp will be underway. We'll get to see kind of, not tomorrow, I mean, through fall camp. Obviously, I know some people are like, well, you're not going to be able to tell everything tomorrow. Obviously not. But you're going to see through fall camp where these guys have what it takes to be, a dynamic duo. If it's Jeremiah Cobb and Damari Austin, or if Darrell Robinson's in the mix too, and they're doing it by 3. We'll just have to wait and see. But I'm saying potentially Auburn has a chance to have a very well-rounded offense where they can run the football and they can throw it at any time and they can keep defenses off balance.
Yeah, I think you're right. And the only things that he was really touched on when it comes to the running backs is that, like you just said, they didn't have that much playing time because of who was in front of them, not because they didn't have the talent, but because Jarquez Hunter in front of them obviously was going to take the lead with how talented he was.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, he said that Damari has some fundamental things that he's been working on. And I think we saw some of the deficiencies last year, the few times he stepped on the field. And you and I have said that we've seen Jeremiah Cobb throughout this summer. And I mean, he's jacked. He's huge.
Yep.
And he's also been getting developed more and more. And
right.
I mean, again, there's just nothing we can really say that we've seen until we keep going to these practices.
All right. Elite QB play is a must. We know that, and all the things are in place for Jackson Arnold to be that next elite quarterback at Auburn, and everything will get underway tomorrow. 25 fall camp will begin, and we will be less than a month away from the start of our season against the Baylor Bears, who we are a 1.5 point underdog now. We were a favorite. That has flipped. It could flip back. I don't know why it would flip back, but we're probably going to be an underdog, and that's fine. I'm actually fine with that. Go in there and
you
say,
like
hey,
being
look,
the underdog, don't you?
Absolutely. Put the pressure on them. Not that really adds. Not that the players and the coaches really put a lot of stock into that, but mentally everybody knows that. People talk about it. So you can actually use that as a little bit more of an added inspiration, I guess, for lack of better terms. All right, that's going to wrap it up here for our podcast this morning. Again, go out and subscribe if you haven't done that. If you have already, we appreciate it. Thank you so very much. And go and like everything that we have. If you like our program, don't like it if you don't, but go out there and hit that like button if you do, and it helps us out a ton. All right, Faith, get us out of here. Let everybody know.
Hope everybody has the best day ever.
And a big old
War Eagle.